Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options in Play video update. Gonna get it out on time this week. I have a good feeling about this one. I think got the software figured out, the software little issue I had, and hopefully get this into your guys' hands so you can prep this weekend, all right? So one thing you will see after I go through the video is that kind of like the amount of earnings day to day slows down. Also, we are through kind of the heart of big tech, and it's a couple weeks out before we get into more software. So a little bit of like a lull in that sense, but still a handful of interesting names. All right. So before the open on Monday, CGC. Actually, two cannabis names on Monday. One before the open, CGC, and then Tilray's after the close. They're looking for about 2 points on this. Last quarter had a huge drop, and it basically took the entire sector down with it. It has been consolidating, and it does look to me like there's room in either direction. I mean, if it loses support, room down to like 13, still has a clear gap from last quarter. So, personally, I don't love these cannabis names. I mean, I've been in and out of them the last couple months, but this actually seems like a decent setup for a volatility strategy. MELI. So this is also Monday before the open. Option spreads are very wide on this, but about 125 to 130 is what's expected. So they have actually delayed reporting twice. From 2 weeks ago, then it got pushed to this week, and then it got delayed from this week to now on Monday morning. So I don't know what that means, but it definitely makes me more cautious, especially after the run it's had. I mean, the stock has literally doubled since it last reported. So I don't think I will be involved here, but if anything, at this point, might look at something on the downside, just based off of them delaying and a huge, huge, huge rally. After the close on Monday, so Sunrun, about 6.5 points. Those are monthly options. That's what's expected. Has been one of the best performing stocks over the past month of anything after that merger with VSLR. Solar stocks actually had a great week, and I don't know if earnings and revenues are going to move the needle much on this one after the run it's had, but it is one that I will personally be focused on for potentially a swing trade after the earnings come out, see what the stock does. But ideally, I'd like to see the option prices drop, and like that's maybe when I'd revisit for a swing trade. So Tilray, mentioned a minute ago, about $1 is what's priced in on this. Definitely gonna have to see what CGC says and also what it does, because that's definitely gonna impact Tilray. If it doesn't have a big move and it's still kind of range bound, then maybe I'll take a look at it. But I think overall CGC is a better setup versus this, but it's gonna be more wait and see for me based off of what CGC does. 10-cent music. So about $1.50 or so is what's priced in. Those are monthly options. 4-minute tight consolidation after a nice run. Looks bullish to me, but had a kind of a mixed report in May, and it also didn't really move much on that report. I guess the lack of big volatility around earnings recently has created a decent setup because the option pricing really isn't too high. And if they can deliver, definitely seems like it could be a pretty easy path back to retest that July high. But definitely a little bit more speculative because there's question marks around this one. Before they open on Tuesday, Goose. So 275 is what's priced in here. Numbers not as bad as feared last quarter, and it popped nicely for us. And to be honest, it seems like it's a very, very similar pattern again. Close to where it was in June. Also, chart seems slightly more positive to me. Breaking above moving average resistance. So worked on the bull side last quarter, and I might look at something on the bull side again this quarter. Neo. 225 is what's priced in on this. Should be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but should be interesting. It turned into a real momentum stock in June and July. And it's just up a ton in a short period. They have given delivery numbers, so earnings and revenues, I don't know what type of price action to expect off of that. Option pricing, it's not cheap, but at the same time, the way it's moved over the last 2 months, there does appear to be some room either way. I'm on the fence with it. I feel like if it's one of those names you've traded or focused on or made money on the last couple of months, it might be worth a look, but Me personally, I haven't been trading it, so I don't know. I'm still on the fence with this one. Lumentum. So 7 points is what's priced in on this. Occasionally, I've traded this one. Chart doesn't look too bad. It's it had a little bit of a run. It had a little bit of a run last week, and it's been kind of hanging out around the top of previous resistance. So, last quarter was mixed week, but there have been some solid reports in the fiber optic networking names. So maybe it'd be more positive on it, but anything I do would probably be like low debit and speculative, just based off of my experience with this in the past. Tuesday after the close, really only one name is LRN. 8.5 points is what's priced in on this. This is another one that's really turned into momentum stock. E-learning play, right? Hanging out close to its 52-week high. It forms a nice higher base above 45. Options are pricing in a monster move. So they will really need to crush it or have some sort of positive commentary. But either way, this could be a nice swing trade candidate as we get into the fall and back to school, right? Especially if schools aren't reopening in person. Wednesday before the open, also only about one here. 4 points is what's priced in on EAT. Those are monthly options, and to be honest, it's the only name of interest, and I'm not even really that interested in it. Restaurant stocks have just been so tough for a few months. Not even just earnings, just for a few months. And this one, like among restaurant names, is low on my list of ones to trade. I will say that expectations seem a lot lower on this than some other dine-in restaurants, but I feel like I'm probably going to be avoiding this. Okay, after the close on Wednesday, a couple big ones. So Cisco, market cap wise, biggest name of the week. 260 is what they're looking for here. Last quarter it was actually very strong, and the stock has acted well since. It's in a pretty tight consolidation, pushing up underneath the high from June. I feel like the option pricing is kind of low on this, and um, it does potentially leave room either way, but I also might look at it more from the bull side, especially after last quarter. 1NM, so One Life Healthcare. So 5.5 points is what's priced in. Those are monthly options. It was momentum name for a bit. It's rolled over. The thing with this is that the Teladoc Livongo merger makes this more of a focus. But I think to me it's a swing trade idea and not earnings. It seems like it has to repair its chart a bit, and then it could have potential over a longer time frame. But earnings wise, I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with it. Revolve, 2.5 points is what is expected on this. It's just an interesting one. E-commerce name for one, had a solid quarter in May, above all near-term resistance, and has 40% short interest. I've been focused on this on the bull side to see if it can string together a run ahead of earnings, and if it can, then we'll see where it is and go from there. Vroom. 12 points is what's priced in on this. Those are monthly options. Definitely going to be a wild night for Vroom after the way Carvana reacted to earnings. That was crazy. It was like straight up and then straight down today. I guess the biggest question at this point is what is expected and how high is the bar, right? Because it's had a real big run. Obviously reacted to Carvana, and options are priced in a pretty big move. So, kind of just weighing whether good news is already factored in or if there's still room to maneuver from there. So, kind of question marks. Maybe worth a look. It might also be more of like a game time decision for me. Lyft. 3.5 points is what they are looking for. Uber's report was not very good, and the stock didn't do a whole lot. These type of names, they're just not really in play right now, so I don't feel like I need to lay out the money for them on earnings because they're not really moving or rewarding the option players. So I feel like I got to wait for something to change on them. Smile Direct. $1.50 is what's expected here. It definitely could be a mover. Now, it has been consolidating above 9. for a few weeks, and there have been quarters in the past when it's been very volatile. The option pricing isn't cheap, but at the same time, decent technical look. You got a gap above, you got some room below. So it seems like there's some room on either side. So maybe like a strangle candidate. Strangle or straddle candidate, sorry. For the open on Thursday, IIVI. About $6 is what they're looking for. Those are monthly options. Another fiber optic networking play. Looks solid. This has had some big moves on the earnings in the past, and it's hanging right above the top of 3-year resistance. When I scroll out, you can see. So it seems interesting. Pent-up breakout could be significant, so might be something to look at, like speculative on the bull side. After the close on Thursday, AMAT. So 375 or so is what's priced in here. Semis have been tough money around earnings, minus a few exceptions. And as much as AMAT's chart looks good, it seems like it's a harder setup to me. Expectations are higher. It's just kind of in like a channel, just grinding up, like uptrend buying, you know. And some of its peers have had good numbers, so I feel like expectations are a little bit more elevated on it. Personally, I think I might just wait and see what they say, see how the stock reacts, and then maybe look at it for like a swing trade after. And then Baidu. So 9.5 or so is what's priced in. This actually had a strong move last quarter after being raised, and it acted great for a while up until the beginning of July. I'm not sure how Chinese tech numbers will be treated this quarter. All of like this rhetoric is starting to ratchet up again. Um, but this might be a good proxy to see if good numbers are rewarded because some other bigger, more interesting China tech names or e-commerce names like Baba and JD are coming up after. So I don't know if I'll play it, but I'm definitely going to be focused on it because it might help me figure out how I want to position for like a JD or a Baba or something like that. And then Friday before the open, there's actually nothing scheduled, so that's it. So you can see like the magnitude of companies reporting. You still have some big ones, but I mean on a day-to-day basis, just not the same number, same amount. So a little bit of a lull, but still plenty of things to do, and I imagine um, probably still get a lot of action due to like the aftermath of recent reports this week and past week. So I expect a busy week coming up. All right. So if you like this video and you're looking for more earnings trade ideas with options or more option swing trade ideas, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay well, and I will talk to you all on Monday.